Hi, my name is Stephen Hamilton and this is my Max project. It's mainly a visual piece, but there is an element of audio to it as well. So I'll just show you briefly what it looks like and then I'll show you what it can do later on. It's kind of this floating universe thing I built with the sun, 2 planets and 3 moons. I done this using JIT World. I created a video window with the dimensions at 320 by 240 and I used this FSAA. This gets rid of like the aliasing, any like kind of problems that would be, I don't know, it makes the things just run smoother and it looks really clean. I have a frame rate counter up here as well to make sure it's running at a near enough constant 60 frames per second. This is the guts of it really. It's kind of split into 3, so over here, these 3, this is how I created the sun. Basically, I'm using the JIT Anim drive commands, and I have the turns, so like the rotations of the planets, I have the positions in the scene, and then I have, we'll get into this later, this is to do with the textures and the colors. So these are the alpha channels for red, green and blue. I could have the spheres really any color we wanted, but I wanted to load textures on so they'd look more professional. These are the 2 moons. Oh no, sorry, these are the 2 planets, not the 2 moons. And it's the same thing applies. They have different positions and different rotations just to give variation to them. And these are the 3 moons. The good thing is they're using like wireless commands. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Down here we have textures. So I'll actually show you where I got them first. I got the textures off this website. It's pretty cool. There's stock, but they're high quality assets. And then I'll get into this in a bit. So we're using the JIT GL textures command to load textures into stuff. The good thing is it is wireless, so once we give it the name attribute text sun, we can apply it up here. You just give it the @texture and then the same name text sun. It registers, it'll pick it up, and it's the same for all the other things, the moons and the sun as well, or the planets. To get the space backgrounds, this was pretty cool. I got this cube map of this website here, Space 3D. Now the good thing about this is you can turn off the sun, you can turn off the nebula if you want, and you can just constantly generate new cube maps for different universe backgrounds. It's pretty cool. So I played around with that until I got one that I thought I liked really cool. Other than this, yeah, we have a load bang up here. This is for the cube map. Every time I open the project, I don't want to have to keep sending a bang in to make the background activate, so this load bang will send a bang into the cube map every time the project is open, so it's just always there when we turn it on. Aside from the universe, we can also play around with it. I'm going to show you this at the end. I'm going to show you all what it can do. We have different ways we can move around. We can use the WAS and D to go forward, back, side to side, and the Q and Z to move up and down. We can also like drag it with the mouse to have a look around if we want. We have this over here. Now this is pretty cool. If we want a camera lock on a specific planet, I use these animation messages. When you click this anim planet, it's hooked into the planet position, so like it locks into each planet or each moon or each sun. And then we've got 2 reset buttons, so if we're moving it around by the mouse and we're not actually like using the WAS and D, we can use this reset button. But if we change the camera position to a specific planet, we can reset after viewing planets, so it brings it back to home, so where you can see everything. To take it a step further, I thought it'd be pretty cool to add sounds to this. So if you change the camera to say view Venus, when you press this view Venus button, it will send a bang, or I suppose it'll enable this anim planet 1, which is the Venus planet, and then it'll send a bang through this. And then I have a playlist here, so track 1 is the sounds of Venus, track 2 is the Jupiter, track 3 is the sounds of the moon, and track 4 is the sounds of the suns. If I press view Venus and it sends a bang into a number box with 1 in it, it will play track 1, so that'll play the audio file of Venus. So I'll show you now what it can do. So this is a presentation mode. You can see everything is moving around. It's pretty cool. I also I should say, added a point lighting. Point lighting is at the center of the screen, so it's coming from the center of the sun, so it gives the planets the cool shadow. Obviously the lighting is pretty accurate. Where the sun is shining into them, they're bright, and when it's dark at the backside, there's a shadow. We can, like I said, we can use W to zoom in, S to zoom out, A to move sideways, and D to move to the other side. We can also use Q and Z to move up and down. So you can use this reset button after playing around if you're struggling to get back home, but that will bring it back to home position. We can also drag it by the mouse. We can have a look around the world, and then we can press the reset button again. This is the great thing about this, is when you press view Venus, you get the audio track of Venus. When you press View Jupiter, you get the audio track of Jupiter. They're all different camera like angles just to give it some variation. When you press View Sun, it gives you the sun sounds. And the moon, you get the moon sounds. And then you can reset after choosing which location. The good thing is both of these reset buttons are sent into a number box as well with 0, so when you press the reset button, track 0 plays, so there is no track for track 0, so it mutes everything, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's my Max project.